Amphibious vehicles made it possible to move troops, weapons, and supplies directly from ship to shore. Without these machines, many large-scale amphibious operations during World War II would have required intact ports, which were often heavily defended, damaged, or completely unavailable. By combining land mobility with water capability, amphibious vehicles allowed military forces to establish beachheads and supply lines under combat conditions. These vehicles played an essential role in both the European and Pacific theaters. This video presents a complete country-by-country overview of the most important amphibious vehicles used during World War II. GMC-DUKW. Amphibious truck. The GMC-DUKW was a 6-wheel amphibious cargo truck, developed for the United States military beginning in 1942. It was designed to operate as a conventional truck on land and as a boat in coastal waters and rivers. The vehicle could transport troops, ammunition, fuel, and general supplies directly from ships anchored offshore to beaches and inland supply points. The DUKW became one of the most widely used amphibious vehicles of the war and served in Normandy, Italy, North Africa, and throughout the Pacific. Ford GPA Amphibian. The Ford GPA was a light amphibious vehicle derived from the standard Jeep chassis. It was intended to provide small units with the ability to cross rivers and bodies of water without the need for bridges. While it performed adequately in calm water, the vehicle suffered from limited stability and seaworthiness in rough conditions. As a result, it was often viewed as less practical than larger amphibious transport vehicles. M29C Weasel. The M29C Weasel was a tracked transport vehicle originally designed for snow and extreme cold environments. The C variant introduced flotation equipment and sealing modifications that allowed the vehicle to operate in shallow water. This adaptation made it suitable for use in marshes, swamps, and coastal terrain. Its track design and low ground pressure allowed it to move where wheeled vehicles could not. Landing vehicle tracked LVT-1. The landing vehicle tracked LVT-1 was the first American tracked amphibious vehicle designed specifically for beach landings. It was initially developed as a logistics carrier rather than a combat vehicle. Early operations in the Pacific demonstrated its ability to move supplies over coral reefs and shallow waters that prevented conventional landing craft from reaching shore. The LVT-1 established the basic design principles for later amphibious tracked vehicles. Landing vehicle tracked LVT-2. The landing vehicle tracked LVT-2 improved upon the original design, with a more powerful engine and a revised suspension system. Many of its mechanical components were derived from the M3 light tank, increasing durability and reliability. These improvements made the vehicle faster and more capable both on land and in water. The LVT-2 saw widespread use in later Pacific campaigns. Landing vehicle tracked LVT-3 Bushmaster. The landing vehicle tracked LVT-3 Bushmaster introduced a major internal layout change. By relocating the engine to the front of the vehicle, designers were able to incorporate a rear loading ramp. This significantly improved the speed and safety of unloading troops and cargo during amphibious assaults. The Bushmaster influenced the design of later amphibious transport vehicles. Landing vehicle tracked LVT-4. The landing vehicle tracked LVT-4 further refined the rear ramp concept introduced by the LVT-3. It became the most widely produced transport variant of the LVT series. The vehicle was capable of carrying infantry, artillery pieces, and large quantities of supplies. It played a major role in sustaining combat operations during Pacific Island campaigns. Landing vehicle tracked armored LVTA-1. The landing vehicle tracked armored LVTA-1 was the first armored variant of the LVT family. Armor protection was added to the basic transport design, and the vehicle mounted a 37mm gun in a turret. This allowed it to provide direct fire support during amphibious landings. The LVTA-1 was used to engage enemy positions near the shoreline. Landing vehicle Tracked Armored LVT-4, a landing vehicle. Tracked Armored LVT-A4 replaced the smaller gun with a 75mm howitzer. This significantly increased its effectiveness against fortified positions. The vehicle was often deployed alongside unarmored LVT transports to suppress enemy defenses during the initial stages of Amphibious. Assaults. Landing vehicle tracked LVT-5, the landing vehicle. Tracked LVT-5 represented the final wartime development of the LVT series. It incorporated mechanical improvements and updated systems based on combat experience. Although it entered service late in the war, it reflected the continued evolution of amphibious vehicle design. Volkswagen Schwimmwagen Type 166. The Volkswagen Schwimmwagen Type 166 was the most widely produced amphibious vehicle used by Germany during World War II, based on the Volkswagen Beetle chassis. It featured a sealed hull and a rear-mounted propeller for water propulsion. The vehicle was used primarily for reconnaissance, liaison, and light transport roles across rivers and flooded terrain. Landwasserschlepper. The Landwasserschlepper was a large, unarmored German amphibious tractor developed for logistical purposes. It was designed to tow barges and heavy equipment from water onto shore facilities. While slow and difficult to maneuver, it provided valuable heavy hauling capability in port construction and supply operations. Type DUKW amphibious tank. The Type DUKW was the Imperial Japanese Navy's primary amphibious tank. It featured a sealed hull and large detachable pontoons to provide buoyancy during water travel. Once ashore, the pontoons could be discarded, allowing the tank to operate as a conventional armored vehicle. Type 3 DUKW amphibious tank. The Type 3 DUKW was a larger and heavier development of the DUKW design. It was intended to provide improved performance and increased capability. Developed late in the war, production numbers were limited, and operational use was rare. Type 4 DUKW amphibious transport. The Type 4 DUKW was an amphibious transport vehicle designed for logistics and special missions. It was capable of carrying supplies across water and delivering them directly to isolated positions. The vehicle could also transport naval torpedoes for specialized operations. Sherman Duplex Drive Tank. The Sherman Duplex Drive Tank was a modified version of the standard M4 Sherman. It was fitted with inflatable flotation screens and propellers that allowed it to swim from landing craft to shore. The Sherman DD played a critical role during the Normandy landings by providing armored fire support during the initial assault. Valentine Duplex Drive Tank. The Assault. Valentine Duplex Drive Tank was an earlier British implementation of the duplex drive concept. It was used extensively for training and testing amphibious tank techniques. Operational use was limited after the introduction of the Sherman DD. Terrapin. Mark I. The Terrapin Mark I was a large British amphibious transport vehicle with 8 driven wheels and 2 engines. It was designed to carry heavy loads of cargo and personnel across water obstacles. Despite its capacity, the vehicle suffered from poor handling and limited speed. T-37A amphibious tank. The T-37A was an early Soviet amphibious tank developed before the outbreak of the war. It was lightly armored and lightly armed, limiting its combat effectiveness. The vehicle was primarily used for reconnaissance and communication roles. T-38 amphibious tank. The T-38 was an improved version of the T-37A with a wider hull. This modification improved stability in water. Armament and protection remained limited compared to other armored vehicles. T-40 amphibious tank. The T-40 was the most advanced Soviet amphibious tank of the immediate pre-war period. It featured improved armor protection and a more modern turret design. The vehicle served in reconnaissance and support roles during the early stages of the conflict, particularly during defensive operations.